Hello everyone and welcome back to Soul Truth 1111. I've missed you all. I've been going through quite a few trials as everyone has, and if any of you have gotten a strange email from me or anything like that, please disregard that. I'm going, I don't know what's happening with my emails, but I believe that I fixed it, so I'm praying that I have, and I've missed you all very much. I've just been taking some time to heal and just get some direction from Spirit and from, just the universe and which direction I need to go in and what's for my highest good, as we all are probably right now during the retrogrades and the eclipses happening, and now a full moon's coming tomorrow. I pray that you all are blessed on that day too. Please keep me in prayer as I go through many decision making and many transformations within my life right now, and guidance, and as we all are purging and letting go of things and moving on to whatever the divine has for us in our destiny. This reading is, I asked Spirit for what do we need to hear right now. And I did pull for the divine masculine and feminines, but I'm feeling that they are mirroring and they're coinciding, so they're going back and forth. So take each card as they resonate, and the divine masculine side may resonate with the divine feminine. So if they resonate, awesome. If they don't, toss it out. So whatever is a blessing to you, let it be a blessing to you, and let it guide you. And whatever does not resonate, then, like I said, just throw it by the wayside and move on to what does. As with every reading. That's how we should look at them. I hope and pray you all are doing well. Thank you for all your comments and your prayers, and I know that you've been in my mind and heart, and I have been watching videos, so I do sometimes I don't leave comments, but I do like and share quite often, and I appreciate you other readers out there that encourage and inspire me. So I just want to let you know I appreciate you all. Thank you for the love and just the support, and just you giving back to me as I have given. If you would like a personal reading with me, please feel free to reach out to me in the description box. My schedule has been a bit busy lately, so I have new projects that I'm working on, new ideas, but I am doing readings still, and which I love to do. I'm going to start requesting a little bit more information as far as the individual's background, so that I could assist you better in what as far as questions that you want answered and such like that. So for the readings, so that it's more tailored to your specific needs. But please feel free to read the notes and reach out to me if you have any additional questions. Okay, so let's get started with the first card. For the divine feminines in the mental space, we have the Eight of Water. This is a journey of discovery, letting go and seeking a deeper meaning and a greater authenticity. So I believe that even the divine masculines may be in this state, we all may be in this state, beyond the superficial. What's going on? What is our purpose? What is our destiny? This time is about making decisions and dealing with past decisions and why we've made those decisions, and learning from those things, and moving on from those things. Everything that glitters is not gold. Re-examining where we may have come from, where we might be going, and the choices that we've made, and being true to our heart in making those choices and decisions. So ultimately, it's going within. It's using our discernment and guidance by universe, by spirit, letting go of everything that would keep us attached so that we are able to go in any direction Spirit leads. And I think that's where I'm really picking up, that's where Spirit wants us to be as divine masculines and feminines. And this is a general reading, but in general, I believe that's in the retrogrades and in the eclipses, that's kind of where I'm picking up we're going, is to be in this state, in this place of authenticity, beyond the superficial, unattached to anything, and then it's like starting fresh and being led and guided directly into destiny and fate, as we come to that place of non-attachment and non-codependency and not just complete self-love, not confused in our direction, but maybe blind of our direction at this point, but coming to a point of authenticity, and beyond the superficial of what we see and those things that can be tangible, or those things that look like the best decision or best way, and just allowing ourselves to release all so that we can be led divinely into all that Spirit has for us now. Coming out of the old, coming out of everything that was. Okay, that's what I'm getting from this one. It's pretty deep, but it's all about choices. This reading is very deep about choices and going within. The next card we have is the Hermit, the 9. Okay, so this is almost a number of completion, but it is coming up on that, and coming to an end of a cycle. The Hermit is going within, and growth and redirection, regrouping, regaining a new and clear perspective. Basically what I was just talking about, letting go of everything that we're seeking or that we want to happen, right? And coming into a place of authenticity within ourselves, beyond the superficial, and examining our own hearts, from where we've been, where we want to go, where we might go, and really asking the Divine, what is my destiny? What is my purpose? Where would you have me go now? I truly believe that's where a lot of the Divine Masculine and Feminines are at now, and even soulmate situations or relationships. Just as individuals, we're really trying to find the clear perspective on where the Divine wants us right now. You know, to fulfill out our unconditional love to ourselves and to the universe, and what God has plans for us. You know, planned as we take one step at a time, right? Okay, so this is the 7 of Air. Beautiful card. This is independence. This is non-conformity. This is living life on one's own terms, not being moved or swayed by what people do, what they think, what they may say about you. Knowing that you, within your own authenticity and your own truth, and your own beliefs system with you and God, and everything that God has birthed within you, going beyond the superficial and living in your authenticity through the divine, in the universe, and letting that light shine without people pleasing, being who God made you to be, no matter if people like you or it or not. Okay? I really feel this is another area that's really coming up. We're having to face ourselves, you know, and you know, I'm feeling, let me see if I can get the words, it's like come high or hell, you know, come hell or high water. It's like I am who I am, and I am who God made me to be, and allowing ourselves to see that and be that, and knowing that is okay, because that is divine, and that is our divine calling, that is our divine purpose, that is our divinity, that is who we are in our authenticity, right? Past the superficial. Not pleasing people, but pleasing the divine. And in doing that, in self-love, we attract those very things that we are and become. Right? Okay. Next we have the wheel, the fortune's wheel. So the wheel of fortune is the number of completion also. These are wishes fulfilled. Destiny meets synchronicity, where the signs and destiny just meet up. Wishes and dreams being fulfilled, as I said, and walking into your destiny. So what I'm getting so far with these cards lining up is that we're in this place of deciding and letting go of those things that no longer serve us, coming into our authenticity, regardless of who or what people think, right? Standing firmly in who God made us to be, based on all those things put together, where we've been, where we are now, where we're going, being healed, standing in our unconditional love for ourselves and for others, for the universe, for people in general, and having an independence, a non-conformity, being able to live on one's own terms as God has made that your destiny. This brings in the synchronicity, and which meets destiny, which brings your wishes and dreams into fulfillment, which is completion, right? So these other cards are like a setup, if you will, for this wish fulfilled, which is an end of a cycle and a beginning of a new one. So new beginnings as well. This is also a time of being patient, not with others, but I feel a lot of times with ourselves and with others at this point, because it's a very trying time. The retrogrades and the eclipses going on, the full moon, these are some heavy energies, and especially if you have heavy energies going on around you, you know, that you are already praying for and about. So this is about being patient during this time and allowing the divine to bring you through this on his wings of love. You know, trusting the divine, trusting the universe will take you through what he's brought you to. And you know, sometimes we don't cause things that happen in our life, but Spirit will use those things to bring out the good in others and the good in us, and work all things together for good. So just know that whatever you're going through, whether it's the time of letting go and having to go within or face these unhealed areas, which we're all having to do, it's really, really, really a deep time of cleansing and healing. And it's a time that we really need to be patient with ourselves. This card came up twice. This is in the overall cards as well. So divine masculine and feminines are mirroring each other, but like I said, take these cards as they go from the divine masculine and feminine back and forth, because these are the question I asked specifically is what Spirit, what do we need to know now? God, what do we need to know now? So those were the mental cards. Now we're moving on to the physical cards. Yeah. Okay, so darkest fears. So a lot of what's going on right now is bringing up some dark fears, and because there's decisions that need to be made, there's contemplation that is happening, there's anxiety and doubt and resolve and release, and sometimes when things don't turn out the way we had planned, we can lose faith and have doubt that it ever will. And so this is where, again, we have to, this is a 9, so this is almost coming to a completion, which is a good thing, because a lot of times we can get to a place where when our heart's been broken, or when things like, didn't work out the way we wanted, we sometimes may think that there is, like love isn't real, or because a job didn't work out the way you wanted, that there, maybe God has left you, or you feel abandoned. So these are things that are coming up right now to the surface to be healed, and God is working all things together for good. So allow these things to come up. Allow what God brings up so that it can be healed and released back and transmuted into love and light, so that when you do come into the new cycle and this period does end and God works all things together for good, you're back in a place of being able to receive your divine destiny and what God wants to manifest in your life. You're in an optimism state of mind, and a mind full of faith, not of fear. Okay, so that's what I'm getting from this. So allow, these things have to come up so that we can be healed, but allow it to come up to be healed, transmuted back into love, and then come back into balance and groundedness, so that your faith overall and your balance in love, unconditional love, and in the divine, in the universe, is solid, so that you rely on that, and knowing that God will work all things together for good. Okay. Next I have here, seek the truth. So a lot of the collective divine masculine, divine feminines, like I said, again, this is a general reading, but I'm picking up that we are seeking the truth. We want to know where it is Spirit wants us to be. You know, is this the right person for me? Is this journey or the path that I've been on the divine, or is it for my highest good? Have I been operating in my highest good? You know, it's really going within and becoming the best version of ourselves that we can be, and looking beyond the veil for those truths, going within, intuition, asking those questions to ourselves and to those situations that we're dealing with, deceptions and inequality. Okay, if something's been unequal or it's been one-sided, maybe it's not for your highest good. Maybe Spirit has another direction for you. Trusting our inner guidance and prompting in all areas of our life, especially in one-sided relationships, or even on the job, deciding what job is for you or what pay is good for you. Not just settling, but wanting what the divine has for you, and know that you're worthy of what the destiny that God has for you. Really understanding your unconditional love within yourself, going beyond the veil into the intuition, uncovering deceptions and questions, making sure that there's no inequality, but there's a balance and a groundedness within yourself and within your partner or your divine masculine or feminine, and within your life. Making sure that what you give out is is coming back to you as well. It's not just one-sided. Just really trusting your intuition and your inner self. It's also a time of rest and reconsider. Okay, this has to do with all the other cards as well. Going deep within and taking the time to reflect and rest from the retrograde and from all the energy changes and shifts and the eclipse changes and challenges that you may be going through, and regrouping, reconsidering possible things that you may have walked away from that may have been for your highest good, but you were not in a place to receive that. This is what those times are for, looking at within ourselves and discovering where it is the divine wants us to be individually. Okay, so the last card for physical is detach, number 11. This means to reflect and accept. This also means to decide, clarity. This reminds me of the other cards that have come up, like the seeking the truth, or the clarity, because this has to do with clarity and justice and balance. This is the Justice card in the traditional tarot. This also has to do with responsibilities and fairness. So reflecting, accepting, just making decisions with clarity, and if not having clarity, finding that clarity to make those decisions, being responsible, taking responsibility for making those decisions, or why you haven't, taking responsibility for fairness and balance if you haven't, and just justice coming into your life, masculines and feminines. So and looking also within to find where it may have been unjust for you. In other words, something may have not been for your highest good, and maybe leaving those situations behind because they're not, they don't bring clarity and they don't reflect on you in a positive way, or there isn't balance within them, or they make you question, or they bring deception, or your inner self tells you that this is not the way to go. So so there's also letting go of codependencies. So it's detaching, like I started to say at the beginning of the reading, where we just let go of everything and start afresh. Not saying that we say goodbye to people we love, but I'm saying that allow for detachment of everything, so that Spirit can show you what you should be, show you what you should be attached to. Or we shouldn't really be attached to anything. We should be just free to do whatever the divine tells us to do. But what I mean is not being stuck to a certain way of going, being, doing, or thinking. Okay, that's what I mean by detaching. Not necessarily leaving someone, but it could be that too, if it's not for your highest good. But actually just being in a place of openness and just say, Divine, I trust you to lead and guide me and show me through my intuition what is for my highest good. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Okay, we're going on to the emotional, and first card we have here is an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. So for many of you, you may be walking into new careers, new career opportunities, new positions, new job offers, promotions. You may be changing locations of jobs. Just many changes in life could happen now. So, and usually for the positive, because I mean it could be challenging as we go through these energies right now with these shifts, but stay grounded, stay balanced, and follow your intuition. Follow the leading of your heart, and stay true to yourself. Okay? And Spirit will always lead you into those blessings that are meant for you. We don't have to fight for things that are meant for us. When they're destiny, they have a timing, and they will always find their way to us when it is the time, no matter what area in our life that is. This card is the 8 of Air. This is an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. So like I said, this reading has a lot to do with making decisions, taking time out, taking time alone, detaching, healing, spending that time alone to make decisions that are for our highest good, right? divine masculines and divine feminines. So there's always an illusion of being trapped. Not always there's an illusion, but like fear. Because this card says illusion of being trapped. So, which would mean that if you're feeling trapped, that is all in your head. You're not trapped. So there's always, when God puts you somewhere or leads you on a certain path, He will always make a way of escape or a way of transition or a new way. He'll always work all things together for good, is what I'm trying to say. So never think that there's no way, or there's no, God's left you, or you're abandoned in a situation, or, and if you lack self-confidence, ask for this as well. Spirit wants to give you self-confidence in every area. Not pride and haughtiness or arrogance, but self-confidence that comes from knowing that you are walking in your destiny, and God will bring the best in you out of you. Okay? Don't be afraid to take action. Move on those things that Spirit is directing you to move on. Okay? And trust that God will bring you through it and bring a great outcome from it. Okay, next card we have is renewal. Review and evaluate a favorable assessment of the facts. Time to move in a new direction. So again, this has to do with rest and reconsider. Many of the divine feminines and masculines will be taking this time to really dive deep into what it is that they want, what it is that they have been investing in their life. Really, the past is really going to come up, and understanding the past, understanding challenges, understanding epiphanies, having clarity, because God really wants both the divine feminines and masculines to come into unity, to come into divine partnership, so that this love could be poured out into the universe. This is the ultimate goal, is to love ourselves and love each other. And it's time to move into that new direction. Allow Spirit to do that. And the angels to guide you into that. 10 of Earth, a very happy family life, financial security, and finding magic in the little things of life. I think this is the 10 of Cups. So this is what it says. It's a happy family life where, you're living in bliss and financial security, no worries, finding and seeing the magic, because you see the divine in everything, even the little things in life, being grateful for even the small things. These are emotional cards. Okay, Page of Fire, outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. Okay, so many of you may be going on some endeavors or starting some new projects, or going forward with some plans. Spirit is saying being creative, be confident, and be outgoing. The divine is with you. Okay, this could be for the masculines or feminines. A new exciting news of an exciting new endeavor. So you could be gaining news of a new endeavor as well. Okay, So take these as they resonate. Divine masculines and feminines, these can go back and forth. These are questions to the divine on what do we need to hear now as we go through these major shifts. Okay, so next we have the Three of Fire. Abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time. Making long-term plans. Make long-term plans. So this is the Three of Wands. So this, yeah, abundance. Things look very good, and have patience at this time as your plans come into fruition and you are guided into what the divine has for you, one step at a time. Because the divine will not like unfold everything right before you and tell you go this way, this is going to happen for that reason, you know. As long as I've known God, which has been many years, He will show you one thing at a time, and as you are obedient to that, He will show you the next thing, and as you are obedient to that, He will show you the next thing. And this is how your faith is built up, and knowing that He will provide, and knowing that all things work together for good. Because even when the bad things happen and you resolve, or He guides you through that, He shows you the next thing, and then, one step at a time. So He will do that through this as well. So along with abundance is coming the Magician. Okay, both the Divine Masculine and the Feminine got the Magician here. The Divine Masculine got the Magician in Spiritual as a final card, and the Divine Feminine is in the Emotional. Okay, but I'm not really in this reading taking them emotional, physical. I'm just taking them as what we need to hear right now. So you are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical. So know, both Divine Masculine and Feminine, you both have this card, that life is magical. Okay, for anyone watching, know that if this is resonating for you, that you have what you need. The divine will divinely guide you into your highest good to fulfill your destiny. Okay. Moving on to the spiritual cards, we have positive movement forward. Got a lot of 8s in this reading. We started off with an 8, and just a lot of 8s, like tremendous, especially the Divine Masculine. Okay, positive movement forward. Okay, let's go. Your efforts that have gotten you to this point are being honored and recognized. So know that God sees your efforts, even when people or individuals may not see your efforts. God recognizes your efforts and your move towards Him. And see, He's representing the sun here, and you are representing moving towards this positive light. And know that every good work that you've done, or prayer, or a good thought, or is not in vain. Even the bad things that happen in our life, God works everything together for good. So know that God is always for us, and always with us, and always guiding us. And this 8 is number of infinity, so always with us. Know that all your talents and what you build your passion and your work on, these areas of your soul what you want to manifest. So, or what Spirit wants to manifest through you. So I think this is a time of really going within and searching out what the Divine wants us to do in the world, or for others, or in love. Like giving of service to others, or, you know, what passions, what talents can we use? What does He want to use within you? Recognizing those things, honoring those things, and using them for your good and His glory. So, and manifesting those so that you can be an uplift to other individuals as well. So I'm getting from that. Next we have number 5, emotional loss. This, to me, when this came out, I felt that this is a time of, because of the retrogrades, a lot of the past is being brought up to be healed. And so, meaning a lot of things that we may have not grieved over, or we have not been healed from, the Divine is going to bring up to the surface to be able to feel those, emotionally heal from those, and transmute those, any negative feelings or anything that is not for our highest good, back into light and love. So that we're completely healed on the inside out, not on the outside in, where we're just wearing a smile but our heart is broken and shattered. So I really feel that Spirit wants to do this, and breaking any emotional attachments, and to honor your feelings, letting go of the past, allowing Spirit to help you heal. So allow God to go in the deep parts of your heart and heal those things that, you know, maybe we don't want to go to or look at, because sometimes those can keep us from our biggest blessings because of fear and you know, thinking that the future will end up like yesterday, and that's not true. Or you know, like 10 years ago, or I don't know, just it could be a couple months ago. Whatever we have been through keeps us trapped in this cycle of mental fear, like the fear card, and then the seeking the truth. So I really feel like this is going within and seeking those things that we need to let go of. As I said in the beginning of the reading, letting go of anything that we hold on to as an attachment. So we can attach ourselves to grief and loss, and we can suppress it, which is a form of attachment because it's still with us, deep within. And God wants to clear out the heart chakras too, and all the chakras. Okay. Next we have a suffering in silence, which is a 9. It's almost a number of completion of a cycle. So this card has to do with contemplation. It denotes contemplation and being finally ready to let go of limiting negative beliefs. Okay, this has to do with the card that I was just talking about, emotional loss. This is suffering in silence and allowing that to be healed. This is why you're going within. This is like the Hermit card, but going, deep within, and sometimes feeling alone, but you're not alone. You're never alone. Let your dreams get your attention again. So don't stop dreaming or believing that your dreams can come true, even though you're going through, these major shifts in this time period, and this major healing, and these major possible challenges or healing. Know that you're not alone, even when you feel alone. So know that the divine is with you as you go through this, and let go of all the limiting beliefs and negative beliefs, and allow yourself to be healed and purge those, so that they can be replaced with faith and positivity to move on to the next cycle of what the divine has for you. Okay, next we have Temptation. This card is also the Devil, but this card is also putting an end to codependency, putting an end to negative thinking, negative ways of doing things, negative influences, separating ourselves from negative energies, or negative vibrations, which could be energies, negative way of doing things, negative way of thought processes. Like I said, codependency. This could be addictions. This could be just temptations to go away from your partner, and go in a different direction, or not be faithful. This is to go in that place so that you can be healed, so that you can become strong in faith, to become closer to God and God's will and destiny as you let go of this, okay? To face your fear and overcome doubts in your mind, because oftentimes the devil is, plays on our mind. It's not necessarily in our life, but it's in our mind, and which sometimes our mind can manifest things in our life. So this is why we got to let go of any codependency or any attachments that are not for our highest good. Know that the divine has all power over this as well, and will work all things together for good, and will bring you through this. And any temptations are not over God. And allow God to remove you from anything that is not serving you for your highest good. And that anything negative and that is attacking your life would be defeated by God's divine power. Okay, next we have, this is the last card for the divine feminines, but as I said, they could resonate either back and forth. This is the base chakra, and this is talking about safety. This is talking about earthly issues or survival or shelter. So God is really wanting to focus or to clear the chakra, or many of you may need to move, or many of you may need to get a better paying job, or just concerned about a job, or concerned about a living situation or safety. So ask the divine and be led by the Spirit when it comes to this as well. The divine will lead and guide you by your intuition into the truth and what is for your highest good. Okay? Okay. So moving on to the divine masculines, but I don't even want to say that because I'm really feeling like all of these have to do with both. So I'm just going to leave it as what we need to know right now from the divine. Okay, the first card on the masculine side is the Four of Fire. This is also the Four of Wands in the mental aspect. A new creative phase, a celebration, pleasure, and harmony in relationships. So this is also the 1111 card, the twin flame card. So this could mean union for a lot of twin flames, coming into union. Take this as they resonate. This could be now or in the future. But this is also celebrating a phase in your life or new creativity, or having a creativity in a new phase, pleasure or harmony in a new relationship or an existing relationship. This could also mean coming into reconciliation from separation from your divine masculine or feminine. Okay, so this, because it's an 1111 card, this means a union of some type. It can mean. So just an added note there. Okay, Queen of Earth. This is being practical and grounded, trustworthy, earthly, resourceful, a garden tender, someone who tends to what they've planted. So someone that is trustworthy and takes care of their resources. They're very stability, very resourceful, very grounded, very balanced, very practical. Yeah. So this could be something that the divine is working within you, or something that you could be recognizing within yourself. So to continue to do that, or others may be recognizing within you that you are trustworthy and you are tending to your garden and what you have planted, and you are resourceful and practical and grounded. Okay. Next we have the Queen of Air. This is setting healthy boundaries, strong self-esteem, calculated and structured decisions, being clear and decisive in your decisions. Okay, so this also has to do with reconsider, or going back into that hermit mode, or that deep intuition and knowing, seeking the divine. Setting healthy boundaries, meaning that leaving anything that might not serve your highest good in order to be balanced and grounded, and for self-love. Just making good, clear decisions based on what the divine would have you do, without attachments, without people pleasing, and just being who God made you to be, and making those decisions that God has divinely ordered you in your footsteps to make. Next we have the Four of Water. Let me add, this is also letting go of any false truths, okay? I wrote some notes here that I wanted to say as I was, when I pull cards, I often get things from Spirit and channeling coming through, and I write them down so I don't forget because I have multiple cards. So this is being well organized or communicating well, and knowing that you have a clear purpose and knowing what that purpose is and letting go of any false truths. So before you make decisions, make sure that you let go of false truths so that you make a clear decision. Okay, like I said, this reading is very much about making decisions. I feel in the next 4 weeks, a lot of decision making is going to be taking place. Okay, Four of Water. This is dreaming or introspection, trusting in abundance of opportunities, contemplation. So again, this is thinking about things that we want to do, thinking of things we want to manifest, thinking on things we want to make decisions about, and trusting in the abundance of those opportunities once we make the decision that we've made a solid decision based on what the divine has guided us to do by our intuition and by taking that time to go within, let go of all attachments, and truly hear from the divine, right? Okay. Next we have the King of Earth. This is about enterprising, the ability to attract abundance and wealth. This is about manifesting or conscious manifesting. So knowing that whatever you think or whatever you your intentions, whatever you strive for, work for, put your effort into will manifest, believing and having faith in that, knowing that the divine and the universe is backing you, and it is solid because you trust in God to bring it to pass. That goes with the manifestation or the magician card as well. Okay, next for I'll just say the divine masculine, but the divine feminine, this could be for you too. Take each card as they resonate, please. This is listen. This has to do with your intuition, what God is leading you to do, going within and listening to your heart, hearing, seeing, sensing, and knowing within what the divine wants you to do. Not just going on a whim, not just going on what you think, but going on what you know, what your heart's leading you to do, and what ultimately is based on love. Okay? Yeah, being guided by your heart. God is love and is the author of love. So when you go on that, you cannot go wrong. And go within, knowing and hearing and sensing from the divine, and gathering that leading by Spirit and by your guides, angels and guides and ancestors. Number 8 again is moving on. Okay, this could be moving on from an old situation, old cycles, stagnation. This is having authenticity. So if you've been stuck in an area, this is moving on from being stuck. This is change. This is knowing the authenticity and the intuition and the knowing by listening, like the past card said, or the last card said, by hearing, seeing, and sensing. You are gathering that information that you need in truth to trust the decisions that you make to move on in a specific direction by the divine into your destiny. Okay? Wow, that's powerful. Okay, feeling alone. This process and this time, many of us can feel really alone, but know that you're not. Know that your angels and guides are with you. Know that you're not alone. I send my love and my light to you always. And this is feeling a lack or feeling abandoned, insecurity, or needing support. Don't let your confidence be shaken. Okay, so the divine is saying, know that I'm with you. Know that I will lead and guide you as you listen and you go within and you hear, see, and sense and know the leading of God and your guides, that you will have the security to go and the support behind you, that your confidence won't be shaken, that you will move forward as the divine is guiding you into what the divine has for you. Okay? So this could be too, oftentimes when we're going through this healing purpose, this time of, because even the divine feminine's got suffering and silence, so they're really, divine masculine and feminine are really mirroring each other right now in the aspect of what is happening with the retrogrades and the eclipses and the healing process and the purging and the shifts, bringing up the past and really honing in on truth, honing in on making decisions based on your truth, your heart, and your senses and your knower, not just your logic. Knowing that you're not abandoned and knowing where your support does lie when it feels that you can't talk to anyone and you don't have no one and you are feeling alone. So knowing that your guides are with you and the divine is with you, your creator, okay, the creator of the universe is with you. Believe and succeed. This is having confidence in all that I just said. This is having confidence in achieving all that you set out to do as the divine instructs you and guides you. This is having recognition and inspiration to move forward in those positive things that God has for you in your destiny. Into your destiny, into those dreams and those goals and those long-term plans, into those decisions that are based on authenticity and truth and not superficial, and they are balanced and decisions based on your highest good and not just a comfort zone or like I said, just a logic base, but a knowing base from your heart. Okay, moving into the emotional for the divine masculines is memories from your history or childhood issues regarding children, romanticizing the past. So, like I said, the divine may be bringing up a lot of the past, or both the divine feminines or masculines may be thinking about those things that need to be healed. Okay, it could be the past couple of years or year or last 10 years, or it could be from your childhood. but the divine is really going into some deep spots right now to bring up those things that and bring truth and bring clarity. And this could be also romanticizing the past and not having a right perspective on things that you've gone through, in other words, maybe looking at things in a superficial way, not necessarily in the way that they are, but at a quick glance or a comfort glance, or just logically, not based on the heart, and the way that the divine would have you see it. So yeah, I really feel that this is another part of or just another confirmation of what's happening right now with the Six of Water. Okay, Seven of Fire. This is defend your belief and decisions, stand your ground, choose your battles wisely. So this is, again, going to that place of making solid decisions based on what God is telling you in your knower, not what you think, not what, not even what your logic may tell you, but what your whole intuition is telling you, and being guided, like the listen card said, and going by your intuition, being led by your hearing, your seeing, your senses, and knowing, and having confidence in the divine in that. And then standing on the decisions that you've made, knowing that God will support you in that, and choose your battles wisely. Make sure that those decisions that you make are for your highest good and those that are involved, and they're made in love and light, because that will come back to you. The love will come always back to you. Okay. Next we have the Moon. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears and that hold you back. So, wow, this is really about diving into those places that that we're afraid to go. This is about dealing with the shadow side, and having faith when something may not be very well lit. Like I said earlier in the reading, maybe taking one step at a time as God leads, versus wanting to know the whole plan of God in the beginning. If we knew that, then we wouldn't have to go by faith, right? So it's really operating by faith and trusting in the divine and healing as we go forward. So using your psychic abilities and insight, releasing fears that hold you back, and move forward by your intuition. Okay. This is 8 and a 1, which is a 9, and it is close to a completion. So know that this blind spot or this healing is close to completion. Okay. Again, this is a Lover's card. Intimate relationships, carefully weigh your decisions, and good health. So the divine is really honing in on making decisions that are for your highest good. Okay. This could be making decisions between two people, whether male or female. This can be making decisions between two relationships, between two different scenarios, but it's ultimately going within your heart and making those decisions based on love and truth. Listening again to your intuition, your hearing, your seeing, and your knowing, and moving on without fear, moving on with faith, and trusting the divine to lead you into your destiny, and the one that you're meant to be with. Okay, next we have the Ace of Air. Brilliant new ideas and inspirations, seeing the truth of his situation, a challenging beginning. Okay, so I believe that Spirit is really shedding light on some things that were in the darkness, or things that were concealed or looked at in a different way. The truth of the situation is being seen now. And because there was no truth in the beginning, that is why there was a challenging beginning. But because many of the divine masculines and feminines are using their intuition, they are healing, they are going within, they're allowing this new beginning, they're detaching from anything that does not serve them anymore. They're able to come back from this challenging beginning and know it was because there was no truth there. But now there's truth. Now things are coming to the light because the intuition, because the heart, because love is, the divine is basically shedding light into what is the right decision and way to go. So, a lot of decision making here. Lots, guys. Okay. 5 of Earth. Fears surrounding money. Wisdom to accept help from others. And uncertain self-employment. So, some of you may be going through a lot of changes that involve divorce or separation, or, you know, the retrograde happening and eclipses. A lot of you are separating from karmic situations. There could be custody battles. There could anything that has to do with finances or fear surrounding money. Job changes. It could be home changes. Just a lot of changes happening right now. A lot of shifts going on. So know that the divine has your highest good, and trust in that. Okay? Trust your intuition and trust the divine. Trust God to work all these things out for your highest good. Okay? And accept help from others as well. Okay, Queen of Fire. Confidence, warm, intelligent, and graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. Okay, so for many of the divine masculine and feminine, this could be calling you to move into an area that is unfamiliar, or that you may have had fears in moving into, but the divine is leading you by grace into this realm, okay, and by your intuition. So allow Spirit to lead and guide you by what your destiny is and what is calling you. Okay, the waiting game. This is about all about choices again and decisions. Some decisions you may have been afraid to make, but are no longer holding back. So this, that's what I was just talking about. The card beforehand, the Queen of Fire, is stretch your wings and don't underestimate. Meaning, make those decisions. This is saying that the waiting time is over. No longer waiting, you're making those decisions. So you're moving forward knowing what the divine's will is as you face this shadow side, which is again the Moon card. Okay, so this is stepping out by faith, even though we may not know everything about the destination. but taking things one step at a time as the divine leads us, and facing our fears and healing anything possible that needs to be healed, and taking the leap of faith. This is like the Fool card, basically, being like the Fool and just being innocent, and just knowing that God brought you this far and has a plan and a destiny, and taking one step at a time. Facing whatever needs to be healed as you go, but taking one step, and as you know that you take one step, the divine will show you the next step because you trust. Okay. This is and this one is 2. 8 plus 1 is a 9, so this is almost a number of completions here. So yeah, the divine masculines are making decisions or in contemplation. They are emotionally withdrawn right now, many of them, to go through this healing, go through this time of purging, as many of us are, divine masculines and feminines. I believe, the whole collective, I believe, everyone is really going through this time of just major shifts, and moving away from anything in our current situation that is not for our highest good. Any old love, anything that's maybe a familiar place, to walk into the new. This is leaving, allowing yourself to heal from any past situations, being alone, and gaining, like the Moon card, that faith to move into the new beginnings. Okay, that's what I'm getting from that. This is the same thing. So trapped in fear. This is coming out of that. This is also an 8. They're both 8s. These are coming close to ending of a cycle. So, but there still needs to be work done here. But what I'm getting from this is feeling as if you're unable to make a decision or a choice, but the divine will help you. Ask for this help, because I see a lot of cards here supporting you to do so, and ultimately you do. But it's going to take this withdrawal time and this time alone to feel right in knowing which way to go. Okay, having to face your fears so that you can manifest all God has for you. Okay, so this is actually removing your fears so that you can have faith again. So it's stepping back into faith. Okay, leaving the fear and moving into faith. Next we have hope. This is an amazing card. It is the Star card. It is the Faith card. So you leave the emotional withdrawn, and you leave the trapped in fear, and you move into this hope, and you this faith, this healing, this aspiration, this success, this finally enlightenment. This is also wish fulfilled. This is the Star card, and the stars are aligning for you. Nothing is impossible. If you stay in a positive attitude and if you believe, okay, you can manifest anything. Because the next card we have is the Magician. So we have the Star card and then the Magician. Okay, awareness. This is wisdom. Going by your intuition into these unknown places that you may have been afraid of, but ultimately having faith and being healed, and using your aspirations and your success and your enlightenment and your psychic abilities and skills and self-motivation and love and willpower and physical abilities and pure courage to move into the unknown and those things that may be known that you know are for your destiny and for your highest good. You have all that you need to make your dreams come true, to manifest everything that the divine has said is yours. Okay? Trust and believe. Okay, let's go into the overall cards. Let me do these two real quick. We have, again, rest and rejuvenation. So this is a time of going within, and really, this sums up the overall of the reading. Going within and being in a place of detaching from everything, so that we can hear clearly in our meditation, in our alone time, regaining faith and positivity to be guided into our destiny, okay, by faith. This is having patience during these times, during these retrogrades and these eclipses and these full moons and these changes, these shifts, having patience with ourselves and others as we learn, grow, heal, and take one step at a time. Oftentimes this means having patience with ourselves, like I said, as well. Because we want things to move faster than they do. Okay, this is the Five of Shells. This is hope and readjustment. This is the Firefly. Fireflies glow in the spark to light the way for hope. This little illuminator is a reminder that things are not always as they seem. She will show you that, turn the page, that your path will be lighter and clearer by allowing beauty to grace your life. Firefly shining light in the embodiment of a freedom of the spirit. She is the promise of repairing the broken spirit through faith in yourself. By igniting your inner light, healing takes place. This healing releases sorrow, which brings a renewed outlook for the future. Learn the lesson of experience and focus on the light in your life. The light within is stronger than you know. By finding ways to renovate yourself, you will find the direction that best suits your life at this time. Repair, change, release, hope, and readjustment. Beautiful. There's one more. It's the Queen of Feathers, and it's perception and truth. Okay. It's the bat. With sharp perception, bats have radar cut. Bats' keen radar cuts through that which is hidden. A mistress of the naked truth, she doesn't stand for being fooled. She gains spiritual depths through struggles, and objective and rational in her approach, and is objective and rational in her approach, dashing wherever she needs to go. She isn't afraid of the darkness. A bringer of new perspective, that will offer constructive criticism for all situations. She's experienced at applying logical ideas to work out a sensible and fair solution that will assist you in facing your fears when you need to stand up for what you believe in. Confront the darkness, and you'll discover the reawakening of light. Heighten the force of clarity and truth by seeing through the illusions and maintain a balanced mind. Sharp perception, truth, integrity, realistic self-discipline, direct, clarity of thought, and freedom. Beautiful. That's an awesome card. Okay, I'm going to do these ones next. These are the Archangel Michael cards. It's time to leave this unhealthy situation. Archangel Michael, what part of my life do I need to focus on more closely right now? Thank you for helping me hear your answer and for giving me courage to make healthy changes in my life. So this is another thing that Spirit is shedding light on right now in those areas that are not serving our highest good, that we may have to let go of or be guided in a new direction. Okay. Next we have, admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. I appreciate your support in helping me face my feelings with grace and acceptance so that I can be lovingly honest with myself and others. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for giving me courage and strength. So a lot of times when we go through this healing and purging and things from the past come up, even from our childhood, we have to be able to have that courage to face those things and allow God to shed truth and light on those things, and so that they can be healed and transmuted into love and light. Okay, and then we have trust and believe. Before going to sleep tonight, say, Archangel Michael, please enter my dreams and replace fear with faith and trust. Let me be filled with strength, courage, and confidence. I love this card. It's beautiful. Okay. The fates. Fate, karma, acceptance that there are things you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. The Serenity prayer sums up the meaning of this card. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There are things in life you will never have control over. The conditions brought on by evolution of the collective, by nature, and by your past experience may be fated, preordained by Spirit for a greater purpose you cannot understand in this lifetime. It may not be in your cards to understand why certain events occurred, but you can accept the mystery and work with those events, and your current circumstances have to teach you. This is the wisdom contained in the Serenity Prayer. The relationship message. Other people are who they are. You can't change them. The challenge is to accept them as they are and not to try and change them, otherwise to suit you. This is a time to look at how you attempt to mold people to fit the view of how they should be, so that you can remain in your relationship and avoid discomfort. What if they are what if who they are and whatever is happening between you and them in this situation is perfect for the perspective of spirit. Now is the time to accept what you cannot change, even if it means that you honor yourself, spirit, and the other person by moving on. Love unconditionally, for each of us is on our own journey, and we cannot direct that of another. Be aware that this relationship is indeed fated, and you are meant to evolve into a better version of yourself as a result of it. Beautiful. So know that whatever's happening now is destiny, and